And then you can check the tweets. One, you can see if you like what they have to say. And then two, you can see in these two cases, this is an individual, no, this is Ogilvy Digital. And they have a pretty good number of followers. Nothing like Anita Campbell, but they have a pretty good number. So they're obviously alpha. And the guy who's going to speak to us tonight, Dan, take a look at his number. One guy sitting at his desk. Seriously, he doesn't even have an office. And he already has 133,000 viewers. And the reason is that he's a really good speaker and is on television, he writes, and people like to follow him. An alpha player would be like an alpha blogger. Somebody that gets a lot of traction and is very important in your space. So last week, it would be special needs children, or parents of special needs children, people with blogs. In this case, it's other people that talk on LinkedIn. Because how do you find the people? With blogging, you can take a look at your statistics, but you don't have a name, right? Unless it's a referring site that has a specific name. So tweeting really gets you at it. And people like tweeting because of the broadcasting. I want to tell you that even more effective is the ability to analyze and reach these tiny little segments of markets. But it is very, very time-consuming. So this is the second tool, and it was acquired last year by Twitter because it's so much better a tool than what they had for search. And I wanted to show you, these are some of the people I'm tracking, so they've come in. These are some of the interactions I've had with people on my tweeting site. These are some direct messages I got from people who didn't want the messages to be seen by others. And on this one here, I was looking up social entrepreneurs. I was looking to see who does work in social entrepreneurship, right? And from that, I can go through the whole drill that we just described. And TweetDeck is really a necessity if you're going to be on Twitter. You can arrange your feeds, you can monitor, manage. I think they just added the shortening piece. But it's really the way you deal with lots of people and build your numbers. And it's a little complicated. I think TweetDeck is one of the harder things to use. So I talked about how you could interact, and this is taking it from TweetDeck. You can reply, you can retweet, you can direct mail. And this is what it looks like if you're bringing it into your TweetDeck group. So what to tweet about? We talked about the importance of adding value to the customers. So one of the really clever applications in the utility space is how to calculate your own energy use and how to play with the numbers to see what the impact would be. Well, that has a lot of value, right? So people really like that particular application, and they talk about it and they remind you to use it. So any kind of a helpful tip, if you're a teacher, if you're an artist, if you're a photographer, what is it that's going to draw people in from your market to follow you? And you always link to everything you do, or you at least in a tweet link to one other thing so people can find you, or you put it on your profile. And if you have a big enough organization with a following, of course you want to tell people what's happening.
Robin, this might be a dumb question because I don't use Twitter, but all those people, do you have to respond to them?
No, but it's a way to, really a dashboard. TweetDeck is a dashboard, and it used to be that you could use TweetDeck on all of your other social utilities. When they got bought by Twitter, Twitter kicked out Facebook right away. So, but you can have a dashboard of what is going on your feeds. And most people have more than a handful of feeds. Most people have 20, 30. In my case, anybody that follows me, I follow. And so I'm getting 130 or 170 lines coming in. And this just enables me very quickly to see if there's anything I need to respond to, anything I'm particularly interested in reading, that kind of thing.
So you read your feeds on TweetDeck?
Yeah, I do.
Instead of on
Twitter.
Twitter.
I could read it on Twitter, but I find that TweetDeck, as soon as you start getting any number of feeds or you're starting to do research, in my case on social entrepreneurs, then it's much better to use TweetDeck. It'll be easier to get your own. You can determine the columns that you have over here. Now, in terms of folders, I don't know the answer.
Well, that's what I meant. I mean, the column is like a folder.
Right, I pick the columns I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you assign, then how does it figure out what feeds to put in what column? Have you pre-assigned that with a keyword?
I've picked it. I'll say, well, pick it off of my Facebook, or pick it off of my interactions on Facebook. I am not a major Twitter user. I use it really for my clients. If I were trying to build my own brand, I absolutely would be all over Twitter.